What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Niners Sickness Podcast. Good afternoon on a beautiful Thursday here in Northern California. Beautiful weather, not too hot, not too cold. Beautiful weather here in Northern California. How is everyone doing? I hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful time. We're going to have fun. We're going to talk about a particular receiver that the Niners drafted in the late first round. How effective is he going to be this year? Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Is Kyle Shanahan going to play his rookies or not? How effective will Ricky Pearsall be in 2024? How important is the signing of Brandon Ayuk to someone like Ricky Pearsall? We're going to dive into that. We're going to break things down. And I watched a video or a live that took place earlier. I want to give props to Larry Krueger. If you guys don't watch Larry Krueger, please subscribe to his channel. The guy's awesome. He covers the 49ers. He had Brent Jones as his guest this morning. Brent Jones was on the Larry Krueger show this morning, and I got to watch the entirety of the video. And some of the things that Brent Jones said really made me think about the future and the present of the 49ers. He said some things about Brock Purdy. He spoke about Joe Montana, Steve Young. He spoke about him being a rookie when he was drafted. He spoke about the things that he went through to make the team, how he made the team. All those things were spoken by Brent Jones, and we're going to get into that. So we're going to have a great show. Before we continue on, make sure to hit the like button if you haven't done so already, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. Let me go ahead and say hello to the ladies and gentlemen in the house. How's everybody? We got Red Jet Shao in the house. How you doing? Welcome. Welcome to the show. We got Daniel Barry Sports in the house. How are you doing today? Welcome. We got Luis Moreno in la casa. What's up, Luis Moreno? How you doing, sir? Always a pleasure seeing you. We got Tim Diaz in the house. What's up, Tim? Welcome. We got Jimmy in the house. What's up, Jimmy? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. We got the lovely Melissa in the house. How you doing, sweetheart? I hope you're doing great and having a fabulous Thursday. Who else do we have in here? Before I get to the comments, I just want to acknowledge everyone in the chat. Daniel Cantu is in the house. What's up, Daniel? How you doing, sir? We got Crazy Guy in the house. What's up? All right, so I'm going to get to your comments in a minute. Let's talk a little bit of 49er football. So the Niners decided to draft a receiver by the name of Ricky Pearsall. And a lot of us kind of found ourselves scratching our head, like, what was the reason behind this drafting, right? Like, we had so many different issues in our offensive line, particularly our secondary, linebacking core, because of Greenlaw being hurt. Why did the Niners go into the direction of signing two, not one, but two receivers in the 2024 draft? Particularly one in the late round of the first round. Now, I know that Kyle, if you see me looking down, by the way, real quick, I'm sending out my live video to all the chats out there. So I'm just finishing up. Please bear with me. I am paying attention. I am talking, and we're going to have a great time. I'm just sending out I'm letting know people that I'm alive. So appreciate you guys. Let's see here. So what was the mentality of the San Francisco 49ers drafting not one, but two receivers in this year's draft, and particularly one as high as the bottom of the first round? It's very simple. The Niners are not only looking about winning today, but they're looking at developing and replacing tomorrow. So as much as we love Brandon Ayuk, as much as we love Debo, as much as we love Juwan Jennings, we love all the other receivers that are on the Niners roster, at some point, we're going to have to move on from our favorite players, right? We're going to have to move on from certain positions. Everybody's saying that most likely Debo Samuel won't be back into the 2025 season. He might be moved on. We're looking at signing right now Brandon Ayuk to a long-term contract, but that may or may not happen. We signed Juwan Jennings for 2 years. That was amazing. But the Niners are always looking at improving the roster, not just today, but tomorrow and going forward. And that was their idea, is let's get a potential receiver like Ricky that can do the things that Debo does or Ayuk does, and eventually have him learn from these great guys. And when they move on, whether it's Debo next year and Ayuk in a few years, these guys can come in and step up and continue to run the Niners offense. Now, could Ricky play this year? I know that Kyle has a hard time playing rookies, right? He has a hard time playing rookies. He likes to sit rookies and have rookies learn, and then come up the following year and kind of go from there. But it's hard for me to believe that a first-round player, regardless of the position, is not going to get playing time. Most likely, a lot of first-round players get opportunities to play if they are not injured. They may not get many snaps, but they'll get some here and there because they're first-round picks for a reason. So can I see Kyle getting snaps to Ricky? Absolutely. Is Ricky really here to take anybody's place this year? Absolutely not. Ricky is not here to take nobody's spot. Ricky is here to learn Kyle's offense, to learn from Debo. Hopefully he'll learn from Brandon Ayuk, his teammate in Arizona, once we get him signed. And the objective is to make sure that Ricky is well-groomed for the future. Now, we can sprinkle him here and there, but he's not taking nobody's job in 2024. I mean, the kid has to be spectacular in training camp. The kid has to blow. Is it possible? Yes. Is it most likely? Unlikely that he's going to come in and I'll play Juwan Jennings, or I'll play Debo, or I'll play Brandon Ayuk once he signs his contract. So he's not coming in to replace anyone this year. He's coming in to relieve a Brandon Ayuk, relieve a Debo or Juwan Jennings for a series or two. All they're going to do is sprinkle in Ricky. Ricky's going to be sprinkled in. And depending on what Jacob County does and shows in training camp, he may come in and to play here too, or he might be redshirted to 2025, being that he was drafted in the 4th round. But let's keep it 100. Ricky got drafted for the future. He did not get drafted for today. Can't say I have to get back to counting celebration of my dad's 60th birthday yesterday. Well, happy birthday to your dad. It's awesome to hear that your dad celebrated his 60th birthday. That is amazing. That is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations to your dad and happy belated birthday to your pops. Crazy guys, ladies and gentlemen, I am not either. Am I a chair? Okay. We can see Crazy Guys on one of his medications. The Under the Helmet Pod. Yo, what's up, brother? Welcome to the channel. Bebop is in the house. What's up, Bebop? Welcome to the channel. We got Eddie. Eddie, long time no here. How you doing, my friend? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. If Ayuk stays, Pearsall will be limited. If we trade Ayuk, then he has a chance to be an impact on the team. That is correct. He becomes an impact by default, right? Because Ayuk won't be here. But I really, really strongly believe that Brandon Ayuk will be signed. I know we get anxious. We get like, oh my God, sign him now. I know he's ready to be signed. He's a young kid and it's his first contract. He is excited to get this done, but we know the structure on how San Francisco works. We understand that Kyle and John usually gets people signed by late July, early August. It's a trend that we see every time that we sign one of our own. They get signed somewhere in the mid-July or August. So it's not like Brandon Ayuk is his first time coming up for a contract. Well, it is, but what I mean is not the first time the Niners are dealing with an extension where we are uncertain of what's happening. We know how the program works. Do we like the program? Probably a lot of us don't. We don't like the process that it takes this long for the Niners to do what they do. But we can be reassured that the Niners have a way of doing things. They have a way of conducting business. They did it with Fred Warner. They did it with Kittle. I remember when Kittle came up for his first contract, people were going crazy because we didn't sign him till late July. And then Fred Warner, and then Debo with the I want to be traded. I want to play somewhere else. And he gets signed. And then Nick Bosa right now is the highest paid player in history for the San Francisco 49ers. Now that's going to change next year when Brock Purdy comes up to bat. But they signed Bosa. So let's keep it real. The Niners take care of their players. What's up, Angel? How you doing, sir? Welcome, welcome. So they take care. Look who it is, faithfully in Vegas. How you doing, sweetie? Good to see you. You keep doing your thing, girl. I see you just tearing it up in your podcast, doing your giveaways. You are an amazing individual. If you haven't not watched or subscribed to Faithfully in Vegas, you got to do so. She's wonderful. Mariah, she gives away rookie cards, football cards. Now you got to be patient with her. I know a lot of you guys win cards and you expect it the next day. She's a busy person. She'll get it out to you when she can, but she does amazing things. So make sure to support her channel. Follow her at her channel. Mariah, you are amazing. Love to see you. And Vegas is, man, everything that's going on in Vegas with all the sports are just blowing up in Vegas for you. Happy for you, girl. Happy, happy, happy. So let's get back to a little bit of Ricky. I'm excited what Ricky will provide. I've been hearing a lot of great things. I've seen a lot of his college film. Now, that has to transcend to the NFL, of course. And yes, a mini camp and rookie camp, you can't really base anything on that. You have to wait for training camp. You have to wait for the pads to come on to really kind of get an idea of which direction the player is in. Is he trending upwards? Is he trending downwards? And so I can't wait for training camp to start. I'm excited to wait for what is it? July. I can't remember when the rookies report. So I'm not even going to say the date because I might mess it up. So if anybody knows the dates, I can't recall at the moment, please let me know. But rookies report 1 week before, and then the vets come in the week after. I think the vets come in on the 23rd. So I'm assuming it's the 20-something for the 18 or 17 or 16 for the rookies around there. But I cannot wait to see Ricky Pearsall and what he has to offer. Again, I don't think he's coming in to replace anyone this year. He's going to come in to extend plays. I mean, if Ricky comes strong in training camp and Debo needs to rest, or Brandon Ayuk needs to rest, or Juwan Jennings needs to rest, it's nice to be able to bring in someone with the talent of Ricky so that we can continue to run Kyle's machine smoothly. God forbid, knock on wood, God forbid that we don't lose one of those players for a few games. But if we do, and you have someone like Ricky on the bench ready to go, you can continue to run this offense without missing a beat for a few games. And that's where you want to look forward to. It's like, okay, if God forbid, if Debo goes down, can Ricky come in and hold his own? And you expect that he would, right? And that's the reason why they drafted Ricky and Jacob, for those reasons. Now, this year's going to be fun to watch. Every year is fun to watch, but this year's going to be fun to watch the rookies because the Niners kind of got away from what they normally do. They normally draft young players with a high ceiling, low floor, high ceiling type of players where they're not playing their best right now, but eventually they're going to be good, hopefully. But this year, the Niners went with more mature, older, 4-year players in college that have shown that they played a lot in college. I think the Niners really are trying to put all their chips in the middle of the table to win a Super Bowl.
Hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about.
They're trying to win a Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to win a Super Bowl this year. This year. Last year, Super Bowl run.
Epic fail.
It was an epic fail. We fell short. We did not get what we out to get, was the Super Bowl ring. This year, the Niners are trying to accomplish that. That is what they're trying to accomplish. They're trying to accomplish the ability to do that. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second real quick. Give me 1 second. Let's see here. Oops. I need to do something real fast. I appreciate your guys's. Give me 1 second. Charge. Where are you? There you are. Okay. And then, oh, you know what? I don't need to do that. Hold on, guys. My apologies. Let me do this here. Okay, cool. Now I can use both of my stream decks. All right, so the Niners, hey, look who's here. Look who is in La Casa. My brother from a whole different mother. What's up, Jason? Jason's in the house, brother. How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Good to see you. I appreciate you as well, Mariah. Tig, put on the weight. This Austin, he's almost as big as Hufanga. That's going to be an interesting conversation about those two guys. These two guys, Tig and Hufanga. How good of a tandem can those two guys be? And we can't forget about Mustafa. Mustafa sitting there in the wings, ready to rock and roll. What's up, Joseph? How you doing, sir? Welcome, welcome. With the bees, yeah, you're Mr. Bees. I see you got a different picture there. It's not a matter, it doesn't matter because the NFL is just about popularity and money. Of course, it's a business. The NFL is a business. It is a business first and foremost. But as fans, we get excited about certain things, right? We get excited about the Niners, who they bring in, how good can they be this year. It's Super Bowl or bust mentality. And I'm excited. Now, I'm going to continue to talk about Ricky, but I wanted to take a moment and discuss certain things that Brent Jones spoke today. Brent Jones, again, if those that are coming in late, he was a guest on the Larry Krueger show. If you're not following Larry Krueger, which I believe a lot of you are, make sure to subscribe to his channel. He had Brent Jones. Brent Jones, for a lot of you young kids who might not remember, he was the Niners tight end. He was drafted in 1986. Many of you were not even thought of. But he was drafted in 86, and he was the Niners tight end. Wore 84 jersey. Amazing tight end. And he had some interesting things to say today. Great interview, by the way, from Larry Krueger. Thumbs up to my boy. Let me give him a shout out. Give me a second real quick. Which is a good one for my boy. Let's see here. Do I have one good one? I have a lot of hate ones. I'll just give him a hand of applause. I don't have. I gotta find me some new sounds. But Brent Jones was asked about, Kyle Shanahan. He was asked about Kyle Shanahan and Mike Shanahan because, as a lot of you know, that Brent Jones, when he was playing in his playing times, he played under Mike Shanahan in that 94 Super Bowl. And he was asked by Larry if there was any resemblance between the dad and the son and how they went up doing things. And it was interesting to hear Brent Jones' perspective. Because I know that many 49er fans, feel that they should fire Kyle. Kyle can't win the big one. Kyle can't win the Super Bowl. He chokes in the Super Bowl. All these things I hear that are negative going Kyle's way that I think personally is unfair, but that's just me. And people are, I want a Super Bowl. And if you don't win me a Super Bowl, you're not a good head coach. And Brent Jones brought up some points that really made me think like, wow. It brought me back into perspective of how good Kyle is. A lot of times we see Kyle run some plays, right? He runs certain plays that we find ourselves scratching our head. Like, why did he run a run play when he should have passed? Or why did he pass when he should have ran? The Niners should have ran more. Kyle should have ran the ball. Why is he passing? A lot of those questions we ask, right? Because ultimately we lost the Super Bowl or we lose certain games, and those are questions that Niner fans ask. Why did Kyle do this? Why did Kyle do that? And Brent Jones said that Mike did the same thing. A lot of times they'll set up a play that may not work, but the whole purpose of that play is to set up 2 to 3 plays later. The reason why Kyle calls a certain play is not specifically for that particular snap, but it's for 3 or 4 snaps or maybe a quarter later. Maybe they're playing in the second quarter. They're like, you know what, we're going to set up a play that we're going to do in the third quarter that's going to pay off based on what we're doing in the second quarter right now. And a lot of us are scratching our head wondering, what the hell is Kyle doing? What is he thinking? Why is he calling that play? But what we fail to understand is he's setting up a future play that is going to benefit Kyle and the 49ers and obviously us, the fans. Let me acknowledge my brother from a different mother. How you doing, sir? We got Luke Luna in the house. Says, hey, brother, I'm at the dentist. Ooh, I have to go to the dentist, and I don't want to. I don't like the dentist. And I've got to go back to my music to download out this drilling, but okay, to kind of get the whole thing out of your mind. I know. Love you too, brother. Appreciate you coming in. And real quick, we got a super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that $2 super chat. You're awesome. Look who we have in the house. We got my girl, Dawn Dotson. How you doing? Just stopping by to say hi. Thank you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Truly appreciate it. Look who we have. My boy, my friend. He's a Saints fan, but the guy is cool. Awesome. Love this guy. Coaching is like playing chess. You have to account for what your opponent thinks you're going to do. You have to account for what's going to happen later. You have to make sure your opponent thinks that you make sure your opponent think for later. Like, yeah, you're playing. That's a very good point. You're playing chess, not checkers. You're not playing checkers, you're playing chess. And you gotta always think a few steps ahead. You gotta be a couple of steps ahead. And I know that certain plays that are made are not the best plays. They're not the most enjoyable plays. Or if a play, let's say he does a running play and he gets tackled right away, and you're like, 2 yards were lost on that run play. What the hell was Kyle thinking? Well, he was hoping that the play worked out. But even though it didn't, he's preparing for a future play. So that's a great point there, my friend. For example, if the obvious choice is to run, then your opponent sells out for the run. Then if the quarterback drops back to pass, they're not ready for it. of if you continuously run, then it helps. Yeah, the pass. If you're a consistent runner and you're going to run down the throat now in the 2019 NFC Championship against Green Bay, that was a beautiful game, by the way. That Green Bay game was beautiful. The Niners were running down the throat of the freaking Packers, and the Packers could not stop the Niners. But reality is you got to set up the plays going ahead. So that was one of the things that Brent Jones said about Kyle. He says Kyle is a genius. Kyle is a great coach. How many coaches that were great never won a Super Bowl? Mark Levy. I believe that's his first name. If I messed it up, I apologize. Levy is his last name. The head coach of the Buffalo Bills. Marv Levy. Not Mark, Marv. Great coach, in my opinion, and never has won a Super Bowl. Do you think the Colts would do anything to get Kyle Shanahan on their roster or to coach the roster? Do you think that the Jets will get Kyle? How many teams out there would fire their current head coach to bring in Kyle? Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it real. How many teams out there right now that if Kyle became available because of the nonsense of Niner fans wanting to fire Kyle because he hasn't won the big one, would fire their coach just for the opportunity to hire Kyle Shanahan? I understand a lot of Niner fans, we want a Super Bowl, right? We're spoiled. Super Bowl or bust. But the Colts have not been to an NFC Championship game or AFC Championship game. The Jags haven't been there in a minute. The Jets haven't been there. The Cowboys haven't been to an NFC Championship game in a long time. So many teams don't get the opportunity to get to an NFC or AFC Championship game, much less make it to the Super Bowl. And Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, even though we lost both Super Bowls, and it sucks, during their tenure of coming in 2017, by the way, having to develop and build this team from the floor up. When Jim Harbaugh, when Jim Harbaugh came in and took over for the 49ers, he took over a very good team that was mismanaged by the previous coaches. You had the Patrick Willises, the Vernon Davises, you had the Navarro Bowman, you had the Cowboy. You had all these great players, and Jim came over and took over a great established team. When Kyle came to the Niners, the team wasn't good. How many of you have forgotten how bad this team was under Chip Kelly, under Jim Tomsula, Mike Nolans, Mike Secondary? How bad was this team back then? And Kyle came in and John Lynch, and they gutted. They gutted the team. And they rebuilt from the floor up. And within their 2017 to 2023, they've been to 2 Super Bowl appearances and I believe 3 or 4 NFC Championship games. Again, I understand that's not equivalent to the Lombardi Trophy. I understand the ultimate goal is to win the Lombardi Trophy. I get it. I am not naive. It is about winning the championship. But we cannot or should not overlook how good our team has been, how relevant our team has been. We lost last year in the Super Bowl, and yet Vegas has the Niners as the favorites to win the Super Bowl in 2024. Yes, please do not forget to debo the like button, and please do not forget to wipe your feet. Also, please do not forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you, Don. I appreciate that. I was trying to say if you continuously run the ball, then it sets up the play action pass. And of course, there are coaches that like to set up trick plays using their tendency. Yeah, absolutely. Look who it is. My brother from a different mother. Terrordome is in the house. It's been 30 years, bro. I understand. It's been 30 years that we have won a Super Bowl. But has it been boring to watch the Niners play in the last few years? Has it been painful to watch the Niners play in the last few years? To me, it hasn't. Yes, it's been 30 years that we won a Super Bowl. Yes, I want another Super Bowl. Yes, I want to win a Super Bowl in the era of social media and get away from the VHS tape. I don't have a VCR anymore. I get it. It's been 30 years. And I hope the Niners can break the threshold this season and go out and get that for you, myself, and for every Niner fan out there that has been supporting the 49ers through the thick and thin from day one. The fans deserve it. I'm with you there. But at the same token, we need to understand that winning and beating the crap out of the Cowboys, I mean, I don't know about you. I grew up in the 80s watching the Niners. I hate the Cowboys. Not as much as I did back then because the Cowboys are irrelevant now. They're not the same Cowboys they were back in the 80s and 90s. So it doesn't really matter. But I still love to see dominance over the Cowboys. That 42-10 beatdown, you can't tell me that wasn't fun to watch. When we went into Philadelphia with all the talking heads in Philly, the Philadelphia Eagles talking their smack. Felix is in the house. What's up, Felix? How you doing, brother? Welcome. Talking their smack. And the Niners went into Philadelphia, where they had lost the year before in the NFC Championship because Brock got hurt. And not only beat the Eagles, but destroyed the Eagles so bad that the Eagles were never able to recover last season. They sent them in a spiral, and to the point where they lost in the first round of the playoffs. Tell me that wasn't fun to watch. Oh, let me read out Felix's question. What's the point of getting to the NFC Championship? I'm winning it and going to the Super Bowl and losing it. Well, this is the point. The point to get to the NFC Championship, it gives you a chance to make it to the Super Bowl. Again, I'm not excusing the losses. I'm not saying that I don't want to win the Super Bowl. I'm not even saying that we should settle for just NFC championships. I'm not saying that. You don't hang a banner of the NFC Championship. You want to hang a Super Bowl banner. I get it. But the more opportunities you get to the NFC Championship, sooner or later, you're going to break through. You're going to break through and win one. How many teams don't even make it to the NFC Championship game? Therefore, if they don't even make it that far, their goal of winning the Super Bowl are zero. I mean, think about it. If you don't make it to the NFC Championship, your chances of winning the Super Bowl are 0. Period. The fact that the Niners get there as often as they got in there gives us the opportunity to, wow, we can make it. Now, when we lost to the Rams in 2021, that was heartbreaker. That was a heartbreaker. When Brock Purdy got hurt against the Eagles, that was a heartbreaker. That was. But what did the Niners do the following year? They got back to the NFC Championship. They were losing in the first half. They were losing to the Lions. Came back and roared from behind and beat the Lions and went to the Super Bowl. Do I wish we would have won the Super Bowl? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do I hate that we lost? It's sickening. It is sickening that we lost the Super Bowl. But I can't overlook how fun it has been winning a game. Now, Brent Jones, okay? Brent Jones on the podcast of Larry Krueger said today that there were so many times that the Niners should have won back then and didn't. In 1983, when they faced the Dallas Cowboys, the Niners were the better team. They were the better team over the Cowboys. And yet the Cowboys won. They got so close. There were so many times that when we were playing the Giants, remember we had won back-to-back Super Bowls. And we were playing on our third NFC Championship game. We were going to go to the Super Bowl to play the Buffalo Bills, and that would have been our third Super Bowl appearance in a row. And unfortunately, Roger Craig got hit, lost the ball. They went on to win that game by a field goal, the Giants. That was a heartbreaker. That's how hard it is to get to a Super Bowl. It's hard. So many teams don't get there. So many teams don't get to the Super Bowl. And Brent Jones said it. There were so many times that we were favorites to win, and we did not win. But a lot of us who are Niner fans today are like, man, the team of the 80s and 90s, 5-time Super Bowl champions, that was a great dynasty. I wish I would have watched the Niners, and I did watch the Niners back when Joe Montana was playing. But there were so many heartbreaking games. So many heartbreaking games that we should have won that we didn't. Just like there's heartbreaking games now. Losing to the Kansas City Chiefs was heartbreaking. We got to understand that we got to enjoy football every season. When your team is relevant and your team is playing good, it is fun to be a 49er fan. Now, it sucks that we can't finish the job. It does suck that we can't finish the job by punching it in and winning the Super Bowl. And I hope we do it this year. I really do. But nobody's ever going to change my mind that we're not a good team. That we're not a good team because we haven't won a Super Bowl. Or that Kyle Shanahan is not a good coach. Kyle Shanahan is a top 3 NFL coach right now. And we're winning every year. We're winning double-digit games. We're always relevant. We're always in the mix. We always have opportunities to make it to the dance. We just fallen short. I'm telling you, for those that want Kyle fired, who are you going to replace him with? Who are you going to replace him with? And then what happens if you replace him with this coach and that coach sucks? And then you change another coach and that coach, and we fall into a spinoff of all these failure coaches, and now we're mediocre or we suck. When are the chances of winning the Super Bowl then? And we forget. We get so spoiled. Well, we haven't won one. But we have opportunities to win one. This year, Vegas has us as favorites. Does it mean we're going to win it? No. But we're favorites to win it. Why? Because of the roster that Kyle and John built. Because of the culture of the 49ers. We have an opportunity. Do we have to go back to the Mike Nolans of the world? The Jim of the world, Jim Tomsulas, the Chip Kelly, to that mediocre team that won maybe 4 games in a season? You tell me, when we were winning 4 games in that season, where was the inspiration of winning a Super Bowl? And when every year you had a losing season, what did you have to look forward to the following year? To the draft? I know, listen, I can only speak for myself. There's been so many times in the losing seasons that by week 11, week 12, week 13, I was already looking at where we were going to be in the draft order and who was available to be drafted that following year. That's what I had to look forward to at week 14, week 15. Where are we going to be in the draft order? How high are we going to go? Who's available? Let's talk draft, ladies and gentlemen. Who are the Niners going to draft? That's what, at that time, we had to look forward to. Now, we look forward of who are we going to face in the NFC Championship game? Who are we going to play in the Super Bowl? We have hope that we can get there this year. When Jim Tomsula was coaching, did you have hope to get to the Super Bowl? You were lucky if we got to the damn playoffs. And there's another thing in the era of Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. The Niners have never been one and done. Keep that in mind. Your 49ers, our 49ers, haven't been a team that made it to the playoffs, Cowboys, last year, that were one and done. We were never one and done. We always advance from that first playoff game under Kyle and John. The Cowboys got their ass kicked at home by the Packers. They were one and done. So many teams make it to the playoffs are one and done. But yet, we want to complain that Kyle's not a good coach because he can't win the big one. I'm sorry. I just don't agree with that. I think Kyle is a great coach. Does he need to learn more? Yes. Does he need to get better in some areas? Absolutely. But Kyle is a great coach that just hasn't won the big one yet. And every year, I look forward. I look at the schedule this year, and I'm like, yep, we can beat that team. We're going to beat this team. Yep, we're going to beat that team. Yep, we're going to beat this team. When Jim Tomsula was coaching, or Chip Kelly, I didn't look at the schedule and say, we're going to beat this. You know what I used to say? Oh, my God. I just hope we don't get our ass kicked so bad that it's going to be embarrassing for that week. That's what I had to look forward to. I hope we don't get our ass kicked. by double digit on this team. So that's how bad we were. Do I want to win the Super Bowl? Yes. Do I think the Niners can win a Super Bowl? Absolutely. Absolutely can win a Super Bowl. The fact that we are always challenging ourselves to get there and playing good football, remember, it takes luck as much as it takes skills to get to the Super Bowl. And if you don't believe luck, I mean good luck or bad luck, what happened to Brock Purdy in the NFC Championship against the Eagles, I can consider that bad luck. The muff punt that happened in the Super Bowl against Kansas City, I can consider that bad luck. If it wasn't for that muff punt, we might be having a different conversation right now. We got to keep things in perspective. What's up, Joe? Welcome to the team. Welcome to the chat. How are you doing, mija? Luis Moreno says, ESPN says the Niners have regressed. I say we got better with the additions they added. ESPN are always going to appeal to the audience, and they're going to try to make things juicy. If the ESPN can piss off Niner fans by making a statement like that, and Niner fans watch ESPN, guess what? Their ratings just went up. They'll say things to kind of get the fans of whatever team they're talking about juices going. The Niners is going to regress. How? Brock Purdy, year 2, coming off an injury that kept him out of training camp, kept him out of mini camp. People thought, is Brock Purdy going to be ready for the Steelers last year? Week 1? Is Brock Purdy going to, when is he going to play? Week 3, week 4? Those are the conversations we were having. And Brock Purdy came in and just had a phenomenal year. MVP conversation year. Now, Brock Purdy's entering in his 3rd year. Healthy. He's been there to minicamp. He's been there to, he's going to be there for training camp. He's having a complete offseason. He's only going to get better. Debo's still here. Kittle's still here. Christian McCaffrey's still here. Juice is still here. Brandon will be here. And they added Ricky Pearsall. They added Jacob Cowing. They added Pooney to help out the line. They added Mustafa. And, they added a couple of free agents like Leonard at the edge. They brought in Malik Collins, Jordan Elliott. If you look at the Niners, how in the world can someone say they have regressed? There's no way. But if you're trying to get your ratings up, if you're trying to get people to watch, you say a comment like this, so a bunch of Niner fans tune in to the ESPN and say, like, I want to hear what they're going to say next. Well, their ratings just went up, and I believe that's their objective. But to sit there and say they regressed is a dumb statement. Dumb statement. This is what I tell ESPN.
Get the fuck out of here!
That's what I tell ESPN with that comment.
What the fuck? What the fuck was that?
That's what I'm saying. ESPN, get out of there. You don't know what they're talking about. So, Ricky Pearsall was drafted in the late round. He's coming in, and hopefully he has a great season. I can't wait to see our rookies. Really can't. Ronaldo Green. I want to see what he does in training camp. I want to see Dominic Pooney, Malik Mustafa, Isaac Guerrero, Jarrett Kingston, and Tatum Bethune. Is he going to get playing time? Training is going to be interesting this July. Then we brought in a couple of help in the secondary. We brought some corners. They can compete. And listen, Emery Thomas, I know you're not watching my show because I'm not this great content creator. But if you watch, all I can give you advice is make sure you work your ass off because you have made it to the Niners roster because of the lack of depth at that position last year and the year before. Emery Thomas made it on the roster because of the lack of depth at that position. That is not the case anymore. That is not the case anymore. There is depth at the position at the cornerback. And Emery Thomas might be on the outside looking in. So camp is going to be interesting to watch for sure. For sure. What's up, Eric? Good to see you, my friend. How's it going? Good to see you. Good to see you.
Booyah!
That's what I'm talking about, my boy, my brother from a different mother. So I'm excited to see what happens. Guys, make sure to tune in to my channel. Make sure to subscribe to the Niner Sickness Podcast. Follow me on YouTube. I know a lot of you guys watch me on Facebook and watch me on other platforms. If you could just be kind enough to go over to YouTube, it takes a few minutes of your time. It doesn't cost you any money. You go there, subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and hit the notification bell so you will be notified each and every time I go live. I enjoy talking football. I enjoy breaking things down. But I'm the content creator that loves just to talk. I love talking to my viewers. I like having conversations. What ifs. I know a lot of content creators out there. They're amazing. I love them all. There's not a 49er content creator that I dislike. I may not follow many closely like I do others. I do have my favorites, obviously, but I can respect every content creator out there for doing their thing. A lot of them bring the X's and O's. A lot of them bring breaking news. A lot of them break the salary cap. A lot of them bring great guests. And that's beautiful for the community of the 49er fan base. I myself just love to chop it up. I think about it as like going to the barber shop. You're going to get a haircut. A lot of the people that are frequent guys that go there are sitting on the chairs, waiting for the barber to be available and just chopping it up. Just sitting there, chopping it up, talking about this, reminiscing about that. And that's the type of podcast that I like to have. I love to talk and just chit chat. So I appreciate you guys' support. You guys are amazing. What's up, Kenny?
Booyah!
That's what I'm talking about, my brother from a whole different mother. How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching the Niner Sickness Podcast. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. And always remember, be nice to one another. If you see somebody in need and you're able to help them out, you never know. Maybe just hold the door open for someone that is going into the store. Or give up your seat on the bus for an elderly person. Let's make the world better by one kindness at a time. God bless. Thank you all for being amazing. You guys are awesome. Kenny says, I like to make people so mad so mad and then make them my friends again. All righty there, Kenny. All righty there.
Ha, ha, ha. Very funny.
Oh my goodness. Kenny the instigator. The instigating Kenny. I love you, brother. You do you, man. You do you. Everybody does them. And I appreciate everyone. Have a wonderful day. Remain faithful. And always support your team through the thick and thin, through the good and the bad, through the beauty and ugly. I am out of here. Go Niners. Peace.
Certified badass.